Hello folks, Junkie Rock 13 here. Everything vaping related, it's Junkie Rock 13. My real name is Ross Sanders, and today I'm bringing you a look at the Innokin iClear 30. This product was sent to me from Innokin for review purposes. It is a 3mm Clearomizer with a kind of unique drip tip. So we're going to take a close look at it and see what I think about it. And at the end of this video, I do have another giveaway. So stay tuned, hope you enjoy the video, and see what I got. Okay folks, here is the unboxing and the close-up of the Innokin iClear 30. It's a nice hard shell box that this comes in. On the side, it talks about some functions of the device, some advantages, and it also gives you the resistant, which is a 2.1 ohms. On the bottom it has qualifications and how to fill the Clearomizer, and on the back it just has a little description. So we will peel off this open tab, go right there for a second, open it up and pull out the iClear 30. It's a nice little package. Innokin always seems to have nice packaging. Push that off to the side, and here is the iClear 30. Okay, I'm just going to take off this rubber little condom on the mouthpiece here. It's just like one of those little condoms that they put on the cartomizers. And I will take off the drip tip here. Now this unscrews, and this drip tip is unique in the sense that it is like a ball joint. So it is a rotatable, like a knucklehead drip tip. Okay, I pulled off the little O-ring there. There's a nice little clear O-ring. Okay. Very fine threading to thread into the top cap. So the air hole in there is kind of small. The opening is very large, but the air hole down in the center there is a little small. Okay. There's the hole down in the bottom. And when it is tipped or angled, you do not lose any airflow or vapor due to that. The top cap is grooved on the outside for grip. Okay. Threading in the inside for the mouthpiece or for the drip tip there. O-ring on the inside with the threading for the tank. Stainless steel material, as the drip tip is also. Innokin always use quality material. The tank is a plastic material. I haven't had no problems with this tank cracking. I'm sure that it may have issues with some juices because plastic material, I have found a lot of plastic materials have some issues with few juices. There is graduated numbers on here up to 3 mils. Okay, and it says that's where you should max out there at 3 mils. I'm just going to take off the coil describe the bottom piece first. It has the threading right here for the coil, okay, and the positive post coming right up through the center, which will come down through the bottom there. On the bottom, you'll notice that it does say, let's see if I can get it. iClear 30. Okay. What does that say? VWVV. All right. Also, for grip, it is ribbed. And an O-ring down in there with the threading there. Okay, and a 510 connection. The air hole for this device comes right through the side right there. I want to be able to show it. Okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it. Let's see. Okay, not great, but it's there. Okay, you see the air hole in the 510 connection. And then we have a large opening on the bottom. Okay, so the coil, just like the iClear 16s, you'll notice that there is 4 different sets of wicks coming out. 4 different sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me just take off this little silicone cap right here. And what this is there are 2 coils in there with 2 sets of wicks. One going this way, one going this way. So there are 2 wraps of coils going down and making connections down here in the bottom. All right. Which gives me a hard time to rebuild myself. I have done it, but you have to use no resistant wire because the run from down here is too far, and it is a pain because you have to make sure that the wires from this wick don't touch the wires from this wick and have to be straight down, and you have to keep them all in order and make sure your little rubber fitting and your positive post go back in with none of the wires touching. It's very challenging. I have done it only once. It came out okay. It wasn't great. My suggestion for these wicks is to just replace them, or these coil heads, just to replace them. Try not to, I mean, you can rebuild them and make a single coil if you wanted to, but my opinion, just go with replacing them. They're cheap enough. So different from the iClear 16, which I will bring a head in to show you the difference. Here is a brand new iClear 16. I'm going to, let me grab that metal piece. You know what, someone said to me in a video the other day, when you're pulling these off, make sure you grab the metal piece and turn it. I have a tendency of grabbing the plastic and turning it. What that does is it breaks the seal on the plastic from the metal, and it's just good practice to grab the metal piece and turn the bottom head, or else you might have seal problems with your Clearomizers that have this type of setup. So this is a standard iClear 16 head, and here, let me just put back on that silicone piece, is a standard iClear 30 head. Now the only differences between these two heads is the wicks that are being used. Okay, the iClear 30 uses 4 1mm wicks for silica, or of silica, excuse me, And the iClear 16 uses one piece of 3mm. So there's 4 different strands coming out each end, and there's only one strand coming out each end here. The good thing about these are you can use this iClear 16 head on your iClear 30. So for those who have asked me, can you use that? Yes, you can, and it fits perfect. If you like the single wicks, you can use that. Or if you prefer the 4 wicks that the iClear 30 does come with, you can use that. Okay? Now the silica piece does have little slots in here for the wicks that are closer to the top to cover, so it does not allow any juice into the coil area. I believe that's about it. That's all I wanted to explain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put back on the tank section here, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this iClear 30 up. So I'm just going to grab my Panano menthol juice, give it a little quick shake. Okay. And the way to fill these is off to the side, give it a little tilt, and make sure you don't fill it up past this line right here on the tank. Okay. And that should be good. I'll just take the top cap, screw it on there, and take the drip tip. And tighten that in. Make sure it's nice and tight. And there you go, folks. There is a filled iClear 30. Alright, let me put this on my SVD. Alright. And this is actually a newer version of the SVD that just came out. I will be doing a video on that very shortly. But this one is on the iClear 30. So let's see how this iClear 30 vapes and see what I think about it. Okay, folks, so there you go. There's the close-up of the Innokin iClear 30. You know, ever since I've gotten the iClear 30, I was excited when I seen that they came out with a little tank with a little swivel end drip tip coming onto it. And the looks is kind of unique. Now we're kind of used to the typical Clearomizer kind of looking like the iClear 16 with the metal down here and the same style drip tips, this little black one that screws in. Now most of the drip tips, or excuse me, the Clearomizers look like that. Then we got into Clearomizers that look like the T3. They had a permanent drip tip, and we filled it from the bottom. We also had always the VV Nova. Well, not always, but in the mix of those other Clearomizers, we had the VV Nova. That's also a Clearomizer. And the iClear 30 kind of reminds me of this. It gives me the same type of vape. Not, well, let me back it up. I was always enjoying the VV Nova. VV Nova always gave me a nice quality vape, and I even enjoyed it more when I rebuilt the coil myself. A lot of the coils that they sold out there, I don't think the Kanthal was wrapped tight enough or loose enough. Sometimes it was too tight, sometimes it was too loose. I think they used nichrome, and nichrome I get a different flavor than Kanthal. So when I re-wrapped a coil in the VV Nova, I did get a satisfying vape, and I enjoyed the VV Nova for quite a long time, and I still do. The iClear 30 gives me a similar vape, but a lot more flavor and a lot more vapor because of the dual coil setup. I believe that's the reason. The flavor in the iClear 30 is not muted as I used to get in some Clearomizers. I know some people do say they do get muted flavor from the iClear 30. I don't. I've been getting pretty solid vape from the iClear 30. I enjoy it. I love the drip tip. I really do. It's a quality knucklehead drip tip. Some of the ones out there, they were really hard to move around. This one moves around and stays where you put it. The ones that you didn't have, or the ones you did have trouble moving around. Let me rephrase it. The ones that you didn't have trouble moving around were too loose and moved around too freely. This, you set it somewhere and it stays there. Let me give it a couple of vapes. I have some Panano Senility in here, 18 milligram nicotine. I'm actually wearing my Panano shirt. Let me give it a vape. I have this set at 10 watts on my SVD. Nice quality vape. Vapor production's great. Flavor is right there. I'm not getting that muted flavor, like I said, that I used to get with some Clearomizers. A lot of Clearomizers, they gave me really good vapor, really good flavor, but some did have some muted flavor. This, the flavor is there, and it vapes well. I don't get any dry hits. I have never gotten dry hits from an iClear 30. I do use typically 70-30 blend, 70 PG, 30 VG, but occasionally I've been using a lot more 50-50 lately. This is reduced PG, so I'm assuming it's right around 70-30. So, in my opinion, I enjoy the iClear 30. I recommend it to people. It is not going to break the bank for a decent device, kind of stylish looking. Looks nice on the SVD. It's a decent little Clearomizer, folks. That's all I got. So I do have not one, but two iClear 30s to give away. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to do it the same way that we always do. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a link down below or up above, wherever I can fit it. And make sure you comment on this video. I will run it for 2 weeks from today's date, or the date that I'm posting this video. 2 weeks. The date of when the end of the contest will be in the description or down below. And must be 18 years old to enter, and please only one entry per person. I don't mind if you're in Egypt or France or England. I will ship internationally, and I will give away two, not to one person, but one to one person and one to another person. So I'll do 2 drawings with the same names. So that's what I got, folks. 2 iClear 30s, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be kind to one another and keep on vaping, everybody. Take care.